Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming and this is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we are back at it with the Doom Tower again. Since it's the new rotation and since it's one of the hardest and at the same time the best rotations to farm for materials, I'm trying to find more and more ways of farming basically these bosses. Like, I don't know, either the Griffin, the Scarab, the Dark Fae or Bomber. Like Griffin you can farm on the second rotation, which is the most recommended one. The Scarab you can find on the first rotation, and then on this one, honestly, all four of them drop some really decent sets. But today we're back to talking about the Dark Fae. Everybody agrees, honestly, from like the beginning or till the end game players that, you know, are used to playing the game and know this game a little bit. Everybody agrees that the Dark Fae is the best one to farm because it gives you one of the best, if not the best set in the game, which is the lethal set, which is basically a savage set on crack, to say so. So the lethal set itself gives you a 25% decreased defense, ignores the defense, sorry, by 25%, and an extra 10% crit rate. That extra 10% crit rate is huge when you think about the fact that you need to hit 100% crit rate on your champions and they start off with 15%. That makes it a lot easier for you to be able to put crit damage gloves and need to find less crit rate on the other pieces and focus more on like the crit damage and the main stat, whether it be attack percent, defense percent, or HP percent. So the team that I wanted to show today, and I waited for for 80 to come out, because last time I showed like a concept and like a team that people could use and other options they have for doing 40, which can be used for 80 and for 120 to farm. It just needs to obviously scale up the stats, and obviously depending on your gear and all that, it can be improved. It can be made closer to 100% as possible. However, from my testing and from what I've seen and have done, this team right here is the closest to 100% that I've done myself and that I've seen out there. I might be mistaken, I might have not seen something better than this, but this one's like actually the best one that I've actually seen, and like I said, it's not the fastest, but it's the most consistent and it's the most reliable, with a little bit of a tweaking that, like, there's one thing I'm missing. If I had the second allure, which I already have a recording, I asked Ivy Gaming to help me out because she has double allure. She's using the same team but with two allures. That's the most consistent one because the Dark Fae will never take a turn. So the whole concept behind this team is you run turn meter controls, and then you see here, okay, who's this rare, who's this Pounder and Dark Elhain, what are they doing here? Well, the concept is pretty simple. What Pounder brings to this team is specifically his A2. Attacks one enemy, has a 100% chance when booked of placing a freeze debuff for one turn. If the target has a freeze, so if he places a freeze, there's a 25% chance places on another person. So most of the time he will only freeze one person. His passive is give some resistance, don't really care. His A1, surprisingly, brings a decreased attack, which can help a lot. Like, from my testing, this helps a lot. Like, in case you have some bad RNG and the Dark Fae takes a turn, just by having this baby decreased attack makes your team actually survive. Because the whole concept behind the teams for Dark Fae is you have to beat your own team. So by doing that, you need to have your team squishy. So because your team is going to be squishy, you can be one shot by the Dark Fae. With having the baby decreased attack, that can help you survive more. So Pounder will be the one that will place the freeze, and the way that I have it in this team is basically I have Pounder's A2 locked. The presets do not count for when the Dark Fae copies my team. So when this team on the enemy side starts attacking us, the first thing the enemy Pounder will do is do the A2 and freeze somebody. I have it locked, I will not freeze them, mine goes first, their Pounder goes next. As soon as the freeze goes on, guess what happens, guys? Dark Elhain comes in with her passive, fills this champion's turn meter by 25% and instantly activates the Death's Majesty, which is her AoE A2 skill whenever this champion or an ally receives a freeze debuff. So as soon as the enemy Pounder goes freezes, Dark Elhain gets with the A2, nukes everybody, which is places an increased attack on herself as well. and then she attacks everybody, and also has a 75% chance to place a decreased speed. This decreased speed can be extremely helpful to have on the Dark Fae, reason why I built some accuracy into my Dark Elhain. And then everybody else is just to do their normal skills. Another tweak that I have done to try and make this one work better, I'm gonna show actually the builds and explain after that. But let me show you some recording. So this is the first recording. Basically the team is full auto. Just goes from the start. Let me move myself a little bit here. So it's full auto, just starts like from the wave. You easily pass the waves, you don't care, everybody does their their normal stuff. Get past the wave, get past the second wave, and then let's see, okay. And then here, see, A1 with Pounder, and then their Pounder does the freeze. Dark Elhain goes, nukes everybody, decrease speed, and then we start doing our own stuff. And then we start beating down the Dark Fae. I don't have War Master on my Pounder yet, or Evil Eye, which is gonna help a little bit. But for now I'm just dealing with this. As you see, we have the turn meter from Deacon, the turn meter control from Deacon, we have the turn meter control from Allure, and the turn meter control from Coldheart when she has her Heartseeker. But this one goes pretty well, like even if we start getting a little bit of a hit, you see we have the decreased attack, we have the decreased defense from Deacon, that helps us do more damage. See, we got the True Fear here, and then two people got it procced. So you still have a little bit of an RNG with this one, but it's not as high as the other team that I showed before, where like most of the time you'll get the what's it called, the True Fear AoE on yourself, and it can be ruined. For this one it's less of a chance, especially if you have the double Allure one, which I'm gonna show after this one. So basically this team just keeps going on, we keep pounding at her, and 3 minutes 70, 316. It's slower than the other ones, but it works, it's consistent. Then the same team, I run it again. This one started with the worst RNG, where I had two people frozen. So it starts like this. A1 again, A2 the enemy Pounder, two people frozen, we still smack them down, start attacking. I think we don't have enough turn meter control, and the Dark Fae goes again, and it's still gonna be reliable. Let me see, yeah, we do the A2 again. Yeah, so as we saw, she gets a turn, and we get the True Fears that procced on 3 people, so 3 out of 4 procced it, but we're still fine because everybody is so squishy. Actually all 4 of them procced. And still we got back to our Allure, which my Allure is really fast because I'm using for the Fire Knight 25. The way that the single target, like banish or however the skill it's called, can be controlled. Look at this, we even got True Fear, so this is the worst RNG that we could get, I'll see on this run. We still didn't die because of the baby decreased attack, and we still survive. But I was saying, the way that we can control who's gonna be banished is by having the highest attack, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not the highest crit damage or like the highest damage overall, I think it's actually the highest attack. So the person that has the highest attack in the team is the person that is targeted for the single target banishment. So maybe that one can be tweaked, and that one could help you guys out to, if you want to like specifically focus who gets banished. Maybe it's the slowest champion, which in this team the slowest one is Dark Elhain, because obviously mostly care about her doing her nuking and nuking my own team, plus put the decreased speed, so she's gonna be the slowest. So I guess that's why it gave us the chance for our team to come back to it and, you know, kill our old Dark Elhain before she does the raid 2 and smacks us. But this is the team that worked really, like I said, lots of bad RNG. We still got some hit. Pounder goes down, we don't really care, we still move on, and it's a 328. So this team still works. Now let me open up the run that IVD has sent me, which is, let me see, double Allure. So this team is like same concept, but instead of the Coldheart we have the double Allure, which makes it more consistent. At the same time, she's gonna show us the preset, so nothing on Deacon, no preset on Deacon. Allures, for the Allures you want to have the Pounder first. The Pounder, the same concept, lock out the A2. The Allures you make them open with the A2 and then lock A2, A3, same for both of them. Yep, so both of them same thing, just to do a little bit of extra damage on the first wave, and then you don't care about it. And Dark Elhain, nothing. So this team, she goes in, same thing, same concept. It's full auto from the beginning till the start. Waves are going pretty decent. We get past the wave slowly but surely, 50 seconds, and then we get to the boss part, and it's gonna be the same thing. A1 with our pounder, the enemy pounder does the A2, we nuke out. Okay, this is the burst RNG that you can get when you get one of your allures be frozen as well. Still, you got the truth here. As soon as one of them goes, it's fine, like I said. Because Dark Fae is gonna be the slowest, the allure is gonna come back, and she's still gonna be able to decrease the turn meter, and then as soon as both of the allures start going, the Dark Fae will not get a turn anymore. So it doesn't matter, we go, especially if we get the decreased speed from Dark Fae, the Dark Fae never goes again. We still A1s, because you have the double allures, keep doing the A1s. This one's a little bit slower because on the first team, on the team that I'm using, I have the Heartseeker, which does enemy max HP, but this one's more reliable. This one's 100% consistent, not 100%, let's say 95, 97%, because you know, there's always that little bit of 3% or small percentage that bad things can happen, some resist can be procced, but at least this one's gonna be it's gonna have the lowest chance to fail ever. So as you saw, this was the team. Now let me show you the stats that I have on my team, for example. So on my team I have, actually let me just go back there, fight it once, just it's easier to go like this. So go in, you do one hit, you close, and then you go to champions. In case you didn't know this is the fastest way you can get back to your stats. Let me move myself out of the way. So my allure is in the same stats that I'm using for my Fire Knight 25. High speed, 100% crit rate, 300 accuracy. Obviously for Dark Fae 120, I might need to up her accuracy by a little bit. Masteries, damage masteries, going down to Giant Slayer over here and Evil Eye, and then I could get something else here, but don't really care. Maybe Methodical might help me for a little bit more damage on her A1. But again, these are her stats. Good attack. Deacon honestly I'm using for my 3v3 in one of my teams, so he's just like, he could be a lot faster as well. I could make him to 260, 70, 80, 90, whatever. It's just that I have him at this speed because I want him with high accuracy for my 3v3. If I saw that it would not work on 120, I would up his speed and drop his accuracy for a bit and just change some stuff in my arena. I didn't really get many stats for damage for him because, like I said, I just needed this for 3v3. These are his masteries. Even though I'm using him for 3v3, I still have War Master because I care about that for doing damage when I use him in the PvE, specifically in Dark Fae. My Cold Heart is something that I've built her in a different set than like the usual sets, which sort of slightly to compensate the fact that I don't have a second allure, and that is I built my Cold Heart in a Reflex set. So the Reflex set gives you 40% chance to reduce the random skill cooldown by 1 turn. So because she does the enemy max HP damage with this one, and she depletes the turn meter, which obviously it's half because of the bosses having that 50% thing that it reduces the damage, the turn meter control do by 50%. However, because I have a new Reflex set, and this one's on 4 turn cooldown, and I lock her A2, because I don't care about her A2 on the boss part, there's at least in 3 turns I need at least once for the cooldown to proc, so I can deplete the turn meter and then to be as reliable as possible. But at a 40% chance from the Reflex, it's pretty likely that's gonna happen. I could also look and maybe put a few of the, few of these refresh accessories on her, but you know, I didn't want to do the best, craziest, most insane stats and, you know, combination of items that I could do. I wanted to make it relatable, basically, not calling it free to play, but relatable. The masteries that I have on my Cold Heart, again, I want Giant Slayer because she does 4 hits on the A1, so the more damage we get on the boss, the better. Then Evil Eye here. Evil Eye can help a little bit, especially up until you get into your full rotation for your team. The more Evil Eyes you have, the better, because every time you A1, the Dark Fae pushes the turn meter a little bit back. Then Dark Fae just have nuking masteries and War Master. I mean, honestly, I just put her in like the basic, basic clan boss masteries, I guess, relying that she's gonna be full HP and does the most damage. Life Drinker, War Master in here, usually going down this way. Evil Eye again, I went down the support tree because you care about some accuracy for her. And the next one I'm gonna take is Sniper, and possibly even Master Hexer, even though this one's not gonna help that much. But Sniper I will take for her A2, because on her nuke she only has a 75% chance of placing the decreased speed, and you want that to land because the Dark Fae is gonna have 250 speed on 120, therefore reducing it is gonna help a lot. Pounder, I have nothing on him, like I said. Pounder, I'm gonna farm masteries to do War Master and Evil Eye as well. Maybe even Master Hexer and Sniper for his decreased attack on the A1, and for the freeze it's 100%. But the way the Pounder is built is I have him the fastest in the team, because I want him to place that freeze like on the enemy team. I want the enemy Pounder to attack me, freeze me, so my Darkened Hand can nuke him, and then I start with the turn meter control and job done. Anyway, guys, I talked enough. This video turned out to be pretty long, but I hope this one helps you out there. This is honestly, from what I've seen, again, I didn't see everything that's on YouTube, but from what I've seen, this, from my point of view, it's the most reliable one, and it's like the one that fails the least, which is what people usually try to find, and that's what I wanted to showcase. So this will be it for today, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Peace, love you all, take care, guys, goodbye.